Today we have Nathan from Live Search, Live Webmaster. Nathan is the one who runs Webmaster for Live, and he's also a technical evangelist. And we are going to ask him a couple of questions very specific to logic and a travel industry. Thank you so much, Nathan. And our first question is really related to architecture. So this is specifically for lodging industry or a small business.
Great.
What are some of the most difficult or most crucial issues you always see with small businesses in terms of the architecture of the site?
Okay, great. So most of the issues come into two buckets. So one are issues with links. So the URLs within your website, are those clean? Are they consistent? Are they what we call normalized? And normalized means that there's just not a lot of synonyms for the same URL.
Okay.
A great example is www.mysite.com or mysite.com. Those are actually two different URLs, but they point to the same page.
Okay.
So a lot of times websites will have a lot of different synonyms. The second thing is what's on the page. Are the content you're building on the page, is it easy to read? Is it something that a computer can understand? And do you provide a good down-level experience? So great examples of these are if you have images on your website, do those images have alt text? Are you using in header tags? Are you putting images as the header, or are you using text for the header?
So let me stop you for one quick second. What about if we go through on-page factor? What are the 8 most important things from top to bottom, from title to footer?
Okay, well, it's hard to say that title is more important than a heading tag, but really the first most important thing on a page is that when a search engine goes to download it, they have permission to download it. So that goes to the robots exclusion protocol. So you want to make sure that you're not blocking the page from being crawled by a search engine. The second thing is when a robot gets to the page, that the page loads in a reasonable amount of time. We are very constrained on the number of pages. There's actually infinite number of pages on the website, on the internet that can be downloaded. So we have to use and plan our capacity very judiciously. So any page...
Any number you can share with us? 54,
no, so the number,
24 seconds or 14 seconds at this modem?
So the number that we recommend is like on a normal broadband connection, about a second or less is what a page should load as. That's what our customers expect from us.
Okay.
So, you know, it's all relative to the type of website you have, but generally you want a quick loading page.
Okay.
And what that really impacts is how many pages that we can crawl in your website. The faster your website loads, the more pages we can crawl, and the more we can come back and keep those pages fresh. If your website takes a long time to download, then we can only do so much and we can only come back so often. So page load is another good time. Also, page errors. Your page should not give 404 errors or 500 server errors, also a bad thing.
Okay.
So the fourth thing is when we get the page, we want to see text on that page.
Okay.
Specifically.
So you don't like Flash?
Flash has a time and a place. We have no problem with Flash. Our concern is there anything else around the Flash that helps us understand what's on the page?
Okay.
So looking at the text on the page, a good title tag is very important because that lets us know what this page is about. You want to make sure that the title tag is different on every page and that title tag accurately describes what's on that page in a very concise manner.
Okay.
The second important piece is a good description tag. We always look to the page first to tell us what the page is about. If we can't find it in the meta description tag, we'll look for text on the page itself. If we can't find it there, we'll look to the ODP, the Open Directory Project, or some other site like that. But you really, as a publisher, want to own that description.
Okay.
So recommend a good couple sentence description in your meta tag, and then on your page, you want to have some set of content, maybe like a paragraph or so, that describes what the page is about.
Okay.
Now, if you want to have Flash in there to spice up the page, maybe you have a hotel, and you want to use a Flash object to kind of let people look around the rooms and really showcase how great your rooms are. That's awesome. Absolutely do that. We just recommend that you stick some text on that page as well, so that people who have like smartphones that won't render Flash, like an iPhone, they can see the description and know what's on the page as well.
Again, I'll just get back to one more thing. For hotels, typically content, right? Nobody really wants to know about color TV and beautiful lobby and everything you have. So what is the ideal content? Should hotel be talking about things to do in the area? Should they be talking about Paramount's Great America if they are located here? Or they should be talking about beautiful color TV and a spa and a heated room and have a whole page built on that?
So, as a search
So
engine,
value of content.
exactly, content is very valuable. As a search engine, we try and model everything we do to try and understand what customers really like and what they look for in websites. So we have hundreds of factors that we look at today, and we can't say exactly what those factors are. But if a website owner for a hotel, for example, if they're trying to build a website that we would like, think of what your customers would like. So if you think about the average person who comes to a hotel, I could see that they could be very interested in all the features of the hotel. Maybe it's a family and they want to know that there's a color TV to keep the kids occupied. Maybe they want to know that there's a suite so you can lock the kids in another room while you have a good time, or stuff like that. Also amenities within the hotel, what's in the area, all of that stuff can help you generate content that people care about.
Okay.
Another great type of content is what we call user-generated content, and that's where your customers actually write your content for you. The trick is you have to create a value proposition for them to do that.
Yeah.
It could be access to more reviews. It could be to showcase some of their family photos, some of their artwork, stuff like that. But if you create something like that, you can have your customers creating a lot of information about your website, about their stay, what they thought of it, what they did, which could give ideas to other potential customers as to the great, exciting types of vacations that they could have at your establishment. So all of that is great stuff.
Great. So let me ask you, this question always comes and from a lot of our customers and also a lot of the people who read our newsletter. Brand new domain, what should I be doing? And again, it's a hotel owner. They don't have too many exciting things happening at the hotel level. And it's a small or medium size or even a big hotel. So what should they do? Just very overall 360-degree generic step by step few tips you can give out.
Okay. So it's interesting. I hear that a lot. People will come to me and say, you know what, my space is boring. Nobody cares. I don't have anything yet. But I disagree with that. I think almost anything can be exciting. If you're building a big megapolis corporate hotel, then there's probably lots of stuff that you're doing with that hotel that's very interesting. And people are like, well, we're a big corporation. Maybe nobody cares. People do care. Find out how to make it human. Maybe you could post interviews with the head of your kitchen to talk about what food you're going to prepare and what your thoughts are and why that's great. Maybe you could do an interview with the head of your concierge staff.
So let me stop you for a second.
Okay.
So when you're saying interviews, how does it impact hotel ranking in universal search? I'm assuming you're talking about videos. How's that impacting ranking?
So what you're doing is you're creating content that people are interested in.
Okay.
And people will go and find that content. It gives people a reason to link to your website. And links are one of the major ways that we assign trust to a page today. And they're relevant links, right? So if you post, you could do a video, you could do an article, whichever works best. If people see that and they get excited about it, they may go and post a link on that from their blog. They may dig it. They may do any sorts of number of social media things to attract more attention to that interview. It gives people a reason to come to your website and come back to your website.
Okay.
So those things can help you out tremendously.